Dah. Aku tak nampak. Pin yang atas. Sorry, orang nampak. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Together we meet again in the session of Sasmec Sembang Smart, which will be the number 10 for this year. So inshallah, before we proceed with the session, inshallah we open the session with Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Alhamdulillah, Allah mengizinkan kita untuk bertemu pada kali ini terus sesi Sasmec Sembang Smart nombor 9 2024. So tajuk pada kali ini adalah saya kira agak ni agak tepat dengan SSPA punya agenda, which is the Competency Based Talent Management, atau lebih dikenali dengan CBTM lah. So before proceed to the brief of the title, I would like to introduce our speaker for today's. So insyaAllah, together with us is Brother Norazili Abdul Aziz. Sihat ya, Cik Lee? Sihat. Okay, Brother Norazili is currently a Senior Deputy Director at Sultan Ahmad Shah Medical Center, leading the Department of Business Development and Investment, also known as Budi. He was a trainer before at Time Berhad for 4 years. Before he began his career in IIUM in 2003. And he has been assigned in the various KCDIO in Gombak. Okay. Brother Azili has a degree in English Language and Literatures, IIUM, Master in Human Resource Development, UTM, Professional Diploma in Competency Based Talent Management, UMPSA, the 4th batch. Second batch. And also the Professional Certificate in Competency Based Instrument, Behavioral Event Self-Assessment, BESA at UUM. So Brother Azili punya kita nak kata punya background of education ni nampaknya memang begitu tepat lah dengan kita punya tajuk pada hari ni, Professional Diploma in Competency Based Talent Management. So Brother Azili also completed his 3 years secondment in Education Malaysia UK and Ireland, based in Dublin, Ireland, before joining back in 2017. Okay, at the Administrative Development Unit in MSD. Okay. So Brother Azili also has a contribution, which is the first one. He's an author of a book titled Cerita dari Listen Park. Yang ni saya kira cerita daripada pengalaman 3 tahun berada di
experience working with the Ministry of Higher Education as an education attaché.
Saya pun salah seorang pembeli buku yang menarik untuk dibaca. And also the writers for numerous book chapter and article, namely Leading with Adab and Budi, published in 2021, IIM SDG book by IIUM administrators, thumbs up to renew the norms of Sasmec IIUM in 2022, and also case study on the role of administrators. In the newspaper article also, Brother Azili has contributed some of the article, which is in utusan dalam kolom IIUM Berbujang. Okay, antaranya adalah Turun Padang dekatkan universiti ke hati masyarakat, masyarakat luar bandar pada tahun 2023, Restu dalam pandemik pada tahun 2022, praktik FAS dalam pandemik 2021, dan juga hikmah COVID-19 kepada Sasmec IIUM. Okay. The latest contribution, write-up contribution of Brother Azili is through this book. Through this book, the Delivering Compassion, 41 case study experience from Sasmec IUM. Brother Azili has contributed 2 chapters in this book, which 3 chapters. Okay. Which is Sasmec IUM, the preferred community teaching hospital, and also Sasmec IUM, a value-based hospital model. Yang menariknya, artikel-artikel dalam buku ni ditulis bersama isteri. Contribution bersama lah. Okay. Jadi, without further ado, I would like let us go deep to the discussion regards to the title Competency Based Talent Management. Saya pun sebenarnya nak tahu lebih lanjut cikgu berkenaan dengan Competency Based Talent Management. Apa kaitan, apa sebenarnya yang kita nak tonjolkan pada kita punya community, mungkin Sasmec dan juga IUM sendiri berkenaan dengan Competency Based Talent Management, CBTM sendiri. So please welcome Brother Azili to maybe share his thought and also through the slide. So please welcome Brother Azili.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertama sekali, firstly, I would like to thank the Human Resource Department of Human Resource, Sasmec, for inviting me to share on the topic related to competency-based talent management. For me personally, and for most of our batches, we know that CBTM for all, CBTM ni untuk semua. So moving forward from the initiative of our government towards SSPA, Skim Saraan Penjawat Awam yang baru. The new SSPA is looking at the performance, meaning that we are looking at the competency of the government servants, Penjawat Awam. So that is why we have this session in order for us to share. I hope that this session is going to be a very interactive session. So if there is any question related to competency-based talent management, feel free to drop the question at the drop box. I think the message area, and also you can switch on your mic and then you can ask questions. And we do hope that this sharing session is going to be beneficial to everyone, especially myself and all the community here, because we are also in the process. I'm still in the process of learning in the sense of how to implement CBTM in our organization. Especially now, we are looking forward to develop CBTM in Sasmec, because we do have a very big group of clinical staff here in Sasmec in the hospital. So that's why we are looking forward to realize the competency framework, the competency dictionary of our clinical staff here in the hospital.
We currently have 26, if I'm not mistaken, we currently have 26 schemes.
26 schemes, clinical, inclusive of clinical schemes.
Yeah.
We have a big group of nurses, and then we have medical officers, we have our PPK, our AMO, our pharmacists, and then our physiotherapists, and then our radiologists, so on and so forth. And then in plus all our administrative staff. So that is why people might be asking why now we have to know about CBTM. CBTM. The acronym is CBTM, but the full sentences about what CBTM is all about it's competency-based talent management. Okay, that is what we are going to look at today during this session. We are sharing the information, we are sharing the details. Hope that we can learn from each other, and then like we said just now, we are moving toward SSPA. So this is a time when this CBTM is going to be in practice, is going to be realized in action, and we are going to practice it here in Sasmec.
Maybe through this platform also, our community want to know want to ask something specific about
Yeah.
CBTM
Yes.
to
Yes.
Brother
Yes.
Ali, which we consider as a subject matter expert of this area lah.
We do have our team. We had our URA already sent the first batch to what we call it, to enroll to this CBTM professional diploma, and then I was from the second batch. We do have a team here and also in the university at Gombak. So we are going to what we call that, to do roadshows, and then we are going to do workshop, to proceed with the workshop in order for us to implement, to know what CBTM in and out, and then we are going to develop the competency dictionary of our clinical staff here in Sasmec. The same goes to our staff in Gombak, in Pago, in other campuses, because we are looking now at the development of the functional competencies. We do have core competencies. We also have leadership competencies, and the most important thing is, due to the differences of schemes that we have in our services, we also will pay more attention and focus on the what we call that, the functional competencies. Okay, so thank you again to HR. Thank you to the team for inviting me to share this knowledge, to share this experience with everyone here. My slide, I hope that everyone can hear us clearly. Okay, can see, can have a look of our slides there. That is why I put it there, CBTM for all. So this is very important for us, because in order for us to measure the efficiency and the effectiveness of our staff, we do need to have a structured framework in order for us to proceed with the evaluation or assessment of our staff, whether they are performing well, whether they are performing very poor. So what to prove that, if let's say that we are saying that our staff is performing very well, so what are the proof that we need to show or to report? So this is the thing that we are going to report to the management. That this is when we want to measure, we want to assess the performance of our staff, the level of performance, whether at level 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5. So this is what CBTM is all about. Okay, it is a systematic tools that we want to utilize in order for us to evaluate our staff. Okay, so let me share with everyone the slide. Okay, hope that everyone can see the slide, right? Okay, next is okay. Okay. Looking at the evolution of HR. Okay, first we are going to look at the background. Right? We are going to look at the background. We are going to look at the why, what makes this thing happen now. So looking at the history and the background of HR, the evolution of HR, you can see that it started with very as a welfare officer, and then labor manager, and then the personal management, and then we do have, and it also developed and to being human resource management, and at the same time it's going to be, now we are looking at assets. Human manpower is more likely to be memang decategorized as an asset to the organization. So we are looking at the human capital, HR, business partner, and the people. So when it involves organization, it involves people. So it's time for us to look at, okay, what we need to do. If let's say that we do have our own APAR, kan? Macam mana kita nak evaluate kita punya staff? Macam mana kita nak evaluate kita punya subordinates whatsoever? So how are we going to do that? So meaning that there must be a systematic or a framework that we need to have in order, when we want to assess our staff, it must be it's not a subjective or favoritism whatsoever. It must be a very technical. It must be a confirmed, clear criteria, a structured framework that we can show, that we can inform everyone that, okay, he is a very competent staff. So these are the evaluation of HR that I can share with everyone. We look at the plan pembangunan pendidikan Malaysia 2015 until 2025. So from the intention of the ministry to what we call that, to have holistic character of staff. Staff kaki tangan
All-rounder.
all-rounder, yang berkebolehan, multitasking, good at in terms of character, in terms of attitude, and able to perform jobs at every level. So these are the what we call the blue book. Ala 7, our Ministry of Higher Education, so that we can have a better structure description of the work and the processes. And at the same time, you know, when you are capable enough, when you are efficient and effective enough, there must be a good compensation and benefits to the staff. Macam mana kita nak buat macam promotion contoh. Betul. How do you determine to give bonuses to our staff? Okay, so these are the things that we are looking at to improve, to reform what we call that our workforce. Okay, and then what kind of training and development that needed for our staff. Okay, performance feedback, management. The most important thing is if you are looking at career development, selection of hiring, and succession planning, succession management. So CBTM, when we talk about CBTM, it is about the whole process, starting at the point of doing selection and recruitment of the staff. And then when the staff enter the organization, so that is another round of what we call that the competency talent that we need to evaluate, assessment, up until succession planning. Who is going to replace? Who is going to what we call that? If somebody resign, for example, if somebody being transferred to another department, so who is another talent who is very competent or to fill the post? Yeah, that is succession planning, and then up to the career development. So when we know, when we do the assessment, when we do the evaluation, when we have this what we call that the framework. So we do the profiling test to our staff. We know that which area that he or she is lacking. So we can the gap. We can fill in the gap, so that we know that what kind of training that we need to send. We need to send our staff to what kind of specific training. So that is what CBTM is all about. It started from selection process, application, selection, recruitment, when they attend the workforce, and then the kind of training that they need to go, whether he or she is capable or not to do the job, and then it's all about the promotion practice, the career development, and towards the end, the succession planning, so on and so forth. So these are all about how to assess, how to do CBTM, how to make the competency assessment of our staff.
So Brother Azli, is that consider that CBTM will cover the process from the beginning, re-entrance of the staff,
yes,
toward the exit of the staff?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
That's the thing, because it involves the whole process. It is not about training and development alone.
Yeah.
It involves from the first day, from the first HR is doing the selection. There must be what we call it a competency framework. Okay, you want to select the best staff. Let's say that, for example, we take one example. What kind of medical officer that we want in Sasmec? Contoh, example. Okay, so we have the criteria. So the criteria has been already been established, has been mentioned in the competency framework. Okay, we are looking at those with good akhlak, contoh, example, and then with good communication skills, with good leadership skills, knowledge. When we go to functional competencies, we know that okay, we need someone who is very knowledgeable in terms of his knowledge, skills, and also attitude. So this is going to be measured. This is going to be assessed during the interview. So because they have the set of questions, they have the set of criteria, they have the set of structured framework that they can refer to in order to select the best talent to join the workforce. That is more or less, in general, what CBTM is all about. Okay. In English, we say competency-based talent management, but in Malay, competency-based talent management, talent pengurusan bakat berdasarkan kompetensi. Okay?
Yeah.
Like for ourselves, like for ourselves, yeah, like Brother Shafiq, myself, maybe some of our audience here, majority of our audience here, you must have your own set of competency. Okay? There must be. And how to assess, how to evaluate, how to say that you are good in communication. This is when CBTM comes in.
Oh,
You can self-claim that I'm a good leader. Okay? But
what is the criteria?
what are the criteria?
Yeah.
How to measure? How to prove that you are a good leader? So this is the CBTM. This is when CBTM comes in. We assess you.
Is there any person yang akan agree with us kalau kata kita self claim kan? Kalau tak ada assessment.
Yes, tak ada assessment, because this is a systematic a structured framework. We quantify the thing, because later when I brief everyone, when we look at our slides later, they will have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 may be the level of the expert.
Okay.
So how to make sure that you are at level 5? Okay, this is a test. This is the assessment that we are going to look at. Okay, so CBTM is in all, meaning that from the start up until the end, from the selection recruitment up until the exit point of the workforce.
It's for all community, and also it's cover all aspect.
Okay, for example, I give you when we talk about CBTM competency based talent management. This is just an example. You want to appoint one HOD, for example. HOD, you want to appoint a leader. Okay, you want to appoint what we call that. Let's say that the recent one is the new Naib Chancellor, the new rector, the new hospital director, the new campus director. Okay, how you want to make sure that the talent, the one selected, the one appointed, is the most capable of all.
Yeah.
Macam mana kita nak buat kalau kita tak ada this CBTM thing? We are not talking about favoritism whatsoever, kan, cronism ke apa. Okay, you naik lah, because I nampak you boleh jadi leader. I can see that you can be a good leader. But to some people, how do you know? How do you measure if we don't have this a structured and systematic assessment and evaluation? We don't do profiling. Tak buat profiling sebab tak ada.
Based on assumption.
Based on assumption, yes. Based on assumption, I presume that you can be a good leader. Then I appoint you to be the leader. So susah lah. At the end, the one elected, the one selected to be the leader cannot perform. Why? At the end, the organization, the business collapse. And then susah. That will be a disaster to the situation. Okay, that is why now SSP is going for performance, for merit. And who wants to get more bonus? They must achieve certain level of achievement. Okay. Who wants to get more money to get promotion, to have what we call increase in salary? How? Yeah. This is the assessment that we're going to look at. CBTM lah, kan? Tapi the process of developing CBTM tu is a very what we call systematic process. It is not just simply I develop my own competency. You have to agree, you endorse, and then we can implement that particular framework. No, there must be a group of panel, a certified panel, maybe subject expert matter from industry, to join in the think tank group, to be the community, to sit down and discuss, and to have a very long discussion, to have a very long workshop, in order to come out with one what we call it, framework to be tested, and then to be evaluated, to be tested, and then once it has reached what we call that the KPI of that particular structure, then we can implement. It is a very Not to say, it is a very long journey. It takes several levels of endorsement, discussion, effort. You have to call in people from the industries, those experts from the academics, to sit down together and then brainstorm of, okay, how to do this. So then,
to buy in the community.
yes, to buy in the community. Some of them, they refuse to be profiling. Okay, some of them, they are refused to be what we call it, to volunteer themselves to be assessed, to be evaluated. So because they don't see. But if let's say that they understand what CBTM is all about, what competency-based talent management is all about, then they will appreciate the effort, the initiative done by the group of management, who wants to have a very systematic way in order for the leaders, for the HOD, for the HLU to evaluate and assess their staff. Apa kita yang ada kan dekat IIM, we have our own apa. So macam mana kita nak buat? Sometimes the thing is very subjective. It must be very specific. It must be very focused. So that is the thing that we are going to look at. Next is we are looking at the CBTM outcomes, the program. Why we need to understand CBTM and why must we adapt? Why we must implement CBTM? Number one is to understand the competency-based talent management. It's all about assessment, evaluation of our people. I want to evaluate my staff. Okay. Put aside, we don't want to look at my assumption. We don't want to look at my opinion, because that is not important. Okay, what we want to have is a structured, a set of criteria, a structured, systematic way for us to evaluate and assess our staff. That is what you have to understand that. Okay, so
waktu nak evaluate tadi, kita kena tutup nama lah.
Tutup nama. We don't want to know. We don't want to know because nanti bila dah ada favoritism whatsoever, ni susah. This is the thing, this is the test. When your staff is not performing, then you have to admit that he or she is not performing. Your staff is doing very well. With this CBTM, you know that my staff is doing very well. He deserves to be to have a salary increment. He or she deserves to have bonuses. So because why? These are the justification. We have tested him or her, and then he or she is able, above average, manage to complete task. That's it.
Outcome based.
That is outcome based, and it is very important, very focus and everything lah. The importance and impact of CBTM for the industry. We want to have the right person to hold the post. We want to give credits. We want to give what we call that appreciation to the right staff, because he or she contributed to the university. Exceptional achievement. Okay. We don't want to have staff who came in late, who has AWOL, but at the end of the year, dia yang dapat best staff. See? How do you evaluate that staff? Staff tu naik ambil hadiah dekat atas stage. Dia ni, that staff is, tak confirm service, datang lambat, tapi dapat best staff. Sebab apa? How do you evaluate that? That is a questionable thing that we can ask to the panel of selection.
So through the CBTM, kita boleh mengelakkan.
Yes. Buat profiling. We have done a lot of profiling kan, even myself, yourself, even majority of us here in Sasmec also dah banyak profiling test kita buat. We know our value, we know our worth, we know where our level, either at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kan? Some of the head of directors, they are supposed to be at level 5. But with CBTM, when they do evaluation and assessment, they are actually at level 2. They don't deserve the position as the head of department. They don't deserve, because the profiling said that, the results said that, come on now, director supposed to be subject expert matter. Subject supposed to be the what we call it, the sole resource. People will refer to her, to him or her. But when we do profiling, we tak boleh berdua je.
It's not achieve the competency level lah.
Tak achieve the competency level. We are not doing justice because we are putting the wrong person at the wrong position. Tak akan collapse nanti organisation tu, tak akan collapse nanti universiti tu, tak akan collapse nanti business tu. Betul-betul kan? We are looking at that. Kita nak nanti akan capai benda yang selalu we talk about it every day, CBTM, competency, talent management, blah 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 and so on. We are looking at the right talent, right talent to put at the right place, to be placed at the right place with the right qualification.
Macam sekarang
at the right time.
Macam sekarang ni kita banyak post kosong berkenaan dengan staff nurse kan.
Takkanlah. So for example you come on lah, you nak select, you want to hire an officer, PR officer. Okay. Takkan you nak hire yang introvert. You dah tahu dah, you set the criteria, it must be extrovert. He or she must be creative, outgoing person. When you do the interview, you know that okay, I want to find this quality, this criteria at this particular candidate. Kan, PR kan, takkan nak kena ambil yang introvert, mesti kita nak cari yang extrovert. Contoh lah, okay. So next will be the participate in developing the CBTM framework for their workplace roles. Okay, CBTM is not there is one core punya CBTM, maksudnya competency, where all the staff must have that competency. Contoh. But when it comes to certain and specific department, for nursing, there must be a functional competency for nurses, and also for administrative officer staff, and then for pharmacies, there must be a functional competency punya set.
Different scope with different
functional competencies. Okay. Understand succession planning, when people leave, when people resign, and then you know that we need someone who actually more or less be at either his or her par yang sama ataupun more, ataupun better than the former candidate. Contoh. So the importance and the impact on organization and develop succession planning for the workplace. Kalau tak ada, that is when when we don't have this kind of effort ataupun initiative, kita tak ada set of competency, susah kita nak buat succession planning.
Who's next?
Plan penggantian. Who is going to be the next hospital director? Cari kandidat sekarang. Ada? Tak ada kan? Contoh, jangan ni. This is a very sometimes the example tu need to be a real example, so that dia menikam lekat di dada. Sebab dia lebih orang kata apa, is more that we are experiencing, that we are going through every day. Let's say that we want to have one officer, he or she resign. Siapa yang tu layak untuk ambil tempat dia? Contoh. So that is what CBTM is all about lah, the competency and everything. We want to do assessment, finding the right talent to put in the right place with the right qualification at the right time. Itu CBTM. Okay. This is just the brief history of CBTM. Just want to share with everyone. So the history, and then the word competency and the word competence. The word competent is being used several times throughout times. Orientasi zon masa banyak kita menggunakan perkataan competent, competency. Whether kita ni the word competent lah is being used.
Kalau tengok pada tahun tu, kalau tu 1954 tu Malaysia belum merdeka lagi.
So kita nak mencari siapa yang boleh buat kerja tu. Macam nak main bola kan? We do selection kan? Kita buat selection. Siapa yang betul-betul pemain bola sepak yang boleh bermain bola. Untuk tim tertentu lah. Okay. Contoh macam benda-benda lain pun sama juga. Macam mana? Dia masih set up kriteria. Itulah sebenarnya kompetensi talent management. Itulah dikatakan kompetensi.
Dan macam Cik kata berkenaan main bola tadi kan. Tak semestinya main bola tu dia boleh main di semua posisi.
Betul.
So yang tu yang kita align itu adalah functional lah.
Ya, itu functional dia. Kalau kita tim bola, defender, kita cari orang macam mana? Kita mencari player macam mana? Kalau kata striker, kita cari player apa? Itulah sebenarnya CBTM. Sebab sekarang ni baru orang cakap pasal CBTM. Sebenarnya benda-benda tu dah lama dah ada. Kan? Kompetensi tu dah lama ada.
Kan? Kita tak implement.
Yes. Kita nak hire, kita nak recruit. Macam mana kita buat? Kita nak mencari penyanyi yang bagus, kan? Contoh, pemuzik yang bagus. Kita buat apa? Kita buat audition. Kita set kriteria. Dia ni kita buat bagi apa, kan? This particular person in what instrument yang dia boleh main. So dah ada kriteria tu, set tu. That is competency sebenarnya. Cuma sekarang ni je orang cakap pasal CBTM sebab benda ni orang mungkin nampak macam CBTM. Oh, now is we name it, we brand it to be CBTM. But in search of talent, in search of the best talent, we are looking at competency. Dah lama orang buat pun. Zaman dulu lagi.
Kalau tak silap saya ni, maksudnya government Malaysia pun dalam 5 tahun, 6 tahun ke belakang baru bercerita berkenaan dengan CBTM, polisi baru di-enforce.
Sebab mungkin there must be a reason why they want to orang kata apa, menyeragamkan, to make it a standard, to standardize the framework tu, the competency framework. After that, saya rasa dalam starting 2017 macam tu ke atas tu, baru Universiti Awam, Kerajaan Malaysia, Ministry of Higher Education. Okay, we don't have a standardized competency framework. Then baru kita nak establish the task force. Okay, you tengok kompetensi untuk TNC, NC, you tengok kompetensi untuk administrative officer, you tengok untuk skim clinical dan clinical seorang tu, baru nak mencantikkan, nak memurnikan, to harmonise and then to standardize the competency framework.
It's good actually.
Dan pada if you are talking about kompetensi dah lama dah. Kita masuk UP interview kerja, kan? There must be a set of competency. Private companies, they are looking at trainer. So they have the set of competency they are looking at. Now, why macam mana? Knowledgeable, skills, knowledgeable and attitude towards that particular position.
To suit the position and
suit the position. Sebab when you find the right talent, with the assessment that you have done here ni, with the framework yang ada ni, it will benefit the company. Sebab you are recruiting the best staff, the creme of the creme masuk Petronas, doing well. Sebab semua nak masuk Petronas bukan senang. Bukan senang, susah. Very difficult to join Shell, to join Petronas. So they are looking at the best talent. So how do they do that? You buat macam ni. This is the thing, the framework pun ada. The criteria set, the competency set by the company, by the HR department. And so that is why we are saying that the word competency, competent tu dah lama dah orang pakai. Cuma sekarang ni, now CBTM.
Soalnya dalam industri selain daripada government, dia dah lama dah start.
Dah lama. Big companies tu, they have their own CBTMs. And okay, this is again another round of what CBTM is all about, is an HR management approach that standardizes and integrates all HR activities based on competencies that support organizational goals. Okay, so they must establish one structured and systematic competency punya framework, criteria set. Let's say that, for example, hospital. Kita ambil lah kita punya contoh hospital kita, kan. Apa kita punya organizational goals itu?
So what is the vision? Vision need to be aligned.
Yes, be aligned with the vision, the organizational goals of our hospital assessment. That's right now. Kita ada mission kita, kan, to be the what we call that, world class healthcare center provider whatsoever. Then kita rungkaikan, kita sit down, cari how to achieve that organizational goals. Mencari apa? Services, yes lah, services tak apalah, facilities soal. Tapi those people yang akan bawa Sasmec tu, kita bukan nak select nobody. Maksudnya we want to select a very excellent staff, competent talent to join the workforce, to join Sasmec, so that we can excel, so that the hospital can excel, to go more, to go far, to achieve the goals, so on and so forth. Kita cari orang, kita bukan ambil sebarangan orang untuk join Sasmec kan. So macam mana kita nak cari orang tu? Kita dah set kriteria. Okay, untuk administrative officer kita nak yang macam mana? For MO kita nak yang macam mana? Medical officer kan? AMO, PBK dah set.
Mungkin general competency tu boleh sama dengan pekerja hospital UIA dan pekerja hospital KMC. Tapi dia ada certain functional tu yang kita nak, ini specialnya.
Apa special dengan UIA? Apa special? What is so special about Sasmec? We are the first teaching hospital with Sharia compliance status.
So the competency need to be a part of that.
That is why when we talk about competency, there is a core competencies. Core competencies, everybody must have that core competencies.
Tak kira siapa pun dia kan?
Tak kira siapa.
Dia di grade yang paling bawah.
Yes.
Di grade paling atas.
That is the core competencies. Now we move to, let's say, that leadership competencies. Everybody, regardless of your grade, your level, you must have these leadership competencies. Iaitu everybody must have. Okay. Now, if you want to focus, we go to functional competencies. Functional is another set of competencies. Functional competencies for nurses, not the same with administrators. So ada beberapa set. We will look at the examples later. So when people ask you what CBTM stands for Competency Based Talent Management. What is it all about? This is the management approach on how to select the best talent to join the workforce in order to achieve with the set of competencies in order to support and to achieve the organisation goals. Itu je. Kita dah buat lama dah. We have been doing this since 100. I don't know lah, because since what we call it, looking at the history tu, since the 50s, 40s. Kan?
Betul.
Sebab we want to select people, they must be a criteria. Itu je. Oh, this guy meet the criteria, okay, acceptable. This guy meet the criteria, okay, acceptable. This guy and this lady, mismatch, cannot meet the criteria because maybe she is very young whatsoever. We are looking at experience, 5 to 10 years experience.
Tapi a certain criteria doesn't meet lah.
Yes, tak ya. Kita reject atau bukan IB contoh. Okay, that is what CBTM. Like I said, it is a process. This one I took from UMPSA. CBTM is a process. It's about competency management, needs assessment, intervention. Okay. And then workforce planning, staffing, training and development. Kan? Kita buat assessment. Jadi cukup tak training untuk menjadi seorang what you call it? Maybe contoh teacher kan. Dia tak ada keyakinan diri lah. Hantar dia buat training. Sebab apa? Kita dah buat assessment kan, kita buat profiling dengan dia kan. And then performance management. Perform ke tak? Ni nak bagi bonus ni. I want to give credits ataupun appreciation to my staff. We have to make sure that we are giving this appreciation bonuses to the right person. Okay. Sebab bila kita ada justified ataupun systematic evaluation thing, even kawan kalau tak perform, kita takkan bagi bonus contoh.
Orang tak marah.
Tak marah. This is the result. Baca sini. Contoh. Itu reward. Just cakap tadi, compensation, benefit, bonuses, bagi allowance, engagement, change management, and then organisation development. Okay, we want to improve, expand whatsoever, macam mana kita nak buat? So these are the process in UMP. I'm sharing the UMP process. And then this one is the process from Southern Cross University ke Australia tu. See, nampak benda sama.
Yeah.
Onboarding, performance management, training and performance support, succession planning, compensation and benefit, critical skills, gap analysis. So workforce planning, recruiting. So these are all things that we need to have because CBTM applies to this process. Some may think that CBTM dekat training and development. No. You belajar mana CBTM dekat training and development?
Cover all process.
Cover all process from the beginning up until the exit point. That is CBTM.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that kalau kata, siapa exit point tu kena ada CBTM? Okay, fine. If let's say that the staff is underperform, dia tak perform langsung. Bukanlah sebab dia dah dekat pension, no. Dia tak perform langsung. There must be an exit point. Macam mana kita nak lay off dia? Nak offer dia BSS ke? Nak terminate dia ke? Nak retrench dia ke? Kalau ada yang, if let's say we do have this structured and systematic framework, we do assessment, then it is justified, then we are okay, we are good. Okay? And then we want to prolong someone's contract, contoh. Performance,
Yeah.
So how do we do the assessment from to this CBTM? So everything has the answer. Everything has the answer. Why you want to terminate him? Why you want to prolong his contract? Why you want to promote him or her? Why you want to advance him or her to a higher position?
Yeah.
Hey, everything is justified, bro. Everything we have done with the profiling, and he has done a very, what we call it, thorough checking of everything. This is the result. So he deserves it. Senang kan? Daripada kita dah buat assumption, bagilah kat dia.
Dia orang lama.
You're making justice? Tak. So CBTM is all about performance. SSPA is all about performance. It's all about value. No more seniority. If you want to be excellent, like big companies, private companies, they are all based on performance.
Yeah.
Seniority does not guarantee ataupun confirm you a higher post, a higher grade, a higher salary.
Yeah.
Now it's all about performance. SSPA is not about performance, right? All about performance. So how to assess? This is the thing. This is the tools that we are going to use. Right? Ada soalan tak dekat ni ke?
Setakat ni
Technical competencies, yes, skill, knowledge, ability. This is the one that we can see, that we can view. Okay, so the behavioral competency is all about trait, motive, character, attitude. So this one is difficult to identify and manage. But through CBTM, inshallah, we can at least, because we have the set of competency framework, competency dictionary whatsoever, and then in order for us, the panelists, the professional panelists, the certified panelists, to determine the behavioral competencies, that is when we proceed with the next level, which is the interview, the assessment that we are going to do. So from there, we will evaluate during the interview session, during his writings, from the assessment ataupun from the, what we call that, assignment that we are giving to him or her. From there, we can evaluate when he or she needs to attend the interview, and then we are going to look at him or himself during the interview, and then during the interview session, we will ask questions. That is how he responded to the questions, his or her storytelling. Then we can look at the skill that we have in front of us, and we can assess that. That one is the next level. Okay. All right. So, like I said, CBTM is all about looking at the right talent, placed at the right place, and at the right time, with the right knowledge, qualification, character, and attitude. So these are what we believe in when we talk about CBTM. Some, they must have a very good knowledge about that particular field, contoh. Tapi tak ada character and attitude towards the job. Susah juga. Kan? Susah juga. So we want to have a holistic character, not just good in knowledge and not just good in knowledge and skill, but at the same time, the talent has the right attitude and character. So I will always say that to everyone. Why you need CBTM? We need CBTM because we are searching for the right talent with the right qualification, knowledge, skill, and attitude to be placed at the right place at the right time. So if this will address, first, we already hired a very competent staff to the workforce. We also may address the succession planning. That is BTM lah. Okay. These are the reasons of organization why they want to implement CBTM to align the talent and culture management with the vision and strategic goals. I think we have already discussed about this.
Yeah.
We want to improve the productivity and profitability through talent. We are lucky enough because we do have our company, our hospital, our university, we are getting funding from the government. Yeah. You bayangkan, if let's say that we don't have a competent staff, kalau company tu memang 100% based on business, income yang dia buat. Kalau kata dia hire not the best talent, dia ikut business. Betul. Kalau
Banyak
dia
duit habis.
Banyak duit habis.
Bila orang
nak develop lagi, you send training, at the same time dia pun tak perform, underperformance. And then how's the business is going to be profitable?
Yeah.
Kita lucky because in government, for government servant, we are getting fund from the government. Okay, but still lah, tengok headache berapa persen staff yang staff in the government sector who are underperformance. Yeah. Tapi kalau business private sector, they are mostly depends on profit. So if you are not getting the best staff to run the company, memang challenging, very challenging mission for that particular company. And then attracting and retaining quality employees. We know that we do have, we know in the company, in the organization, we have a pool of best talent. Ini kita retain. Sebab when we have this CBTM, those good staff, excellent staff, kita nak bagi bonus, nak appreciate supaya mereka loyal to the company, itu senang. So kita ada set good and systematic and structured CBTM.
bila benefit berlainan, so semua orang akan kerja goal yang sama lah.
Yes,
Kan?
betul. Contoh, one staff, we have two staff. One staff is getting 5 ataupun 6 month bonus. The other one dapat 1 year punya bonus. There must be a question why dia dapat 1 tahun, the next staff dapat 6 bulan. Through this, dapat assessment kot. I evaluate your work.
Yeah.
The company lah, maksudnya management evaluate your work. That is when we know that you deserve only 6 month bonus and the other one deserve 1 year bonus. Right? Being an employer of choice, sebab we are very concerned about our talent. So they know that those, regardless of whether you are senior whatsoever, as long as I go in the company, if I perform very well, I will be appreciated. I will have the opportunity to advance in my career. I will have the opportunity to have an increment in my salary. Because performance matters. So, orang semua berani. Why people want to apply to work in Shell? Why people want to apply to work in Petronas, oil and gas company? Because of the benefits. Because of the benefit. Because they appreciate their staff. How do they appreciate? How do they do the what we call it, evaluation assessment? Do this. They have their own structured training program. They have their own structured recruitment process.
Memang tak mudah lagi.
Tak mudah.
Betul.
Kan? Some of us may even had the experience. We went to the interview, Petronas ke Shell ke ataupun TNB ke Bank Negara ke. Senang. Ensuring a continuing pipeline of qualified candidates for key roles. That is what CBTM is all about. Hospital director is going to retire, for example, saya bagi contoh. Who is going to be his or her next successor? Ada tu talent.
What is the criteria?
Yes. Director clinical, director administration, HOD budi, HOD quality, HOD HR. Siapa yang akan naik? Ada kan talent? Bukannya just say you naik. Tak boleh lingkup lah.
Perlu ada set of competency.
Yes, you have to set that competency. You must reach certain level of competency in order for you to be the HOU actually. Untuk bawah, siapa nak ganti veteran, siapa nak ganti our consultant yang ada ni, yang specialist and everything. Siapa? Kalau tak ada sukses, susah lah macam ni sebenarnya. One example that I want to share with everyone here. How do you know that particular company atau organization is strong? Is whether that particular company is strong or not? Bila katalah one day one of the key person resign or they go somewhere else ataupun pension whatsoever. Question raised by the management of the company. Who's next? When that question being asked, meaning that you don't have a proper succession plan. Who is going to take the responsibility? Who is going to be the leader? Who is going to head the organization? Even worse, that boss asks you resign ataupun you kena transfer ataupun you kena tanya, siapa boleh ganti you? Siapa boleh ganti you? Yang talent, yang kompetensi dia sama macam you ataupun lebih. Meaning that it is a very alarming situation because you don't have that particular company does not have a proper succession planning punya plan.
Which one of the process in the CBTM lah. Kan? Betul.
Kita buat banyak interview kan, HR kan, HR semua banyak interview How to recruit the best talent. There must be a criteria, a set of criteria yang you are looking forward in that particular talent. Through the questions that you ask, you look at his or her response, how she wear her dress code during the day, her shoes, his tie, the way he sits on the chair, the way he acts to the question, the way he responded to the question. As a professional panelist, you can read the body language and everything. So that then you refer to the set of criteria yang ada kan. So there is sesuatu. Agreed by the panel. Okay. This is, we are looking at HR goals, addressing skills shortage. So this is what CBTM can do. Retaining talented employees, developing high potential employees, implementing succession plans for key roles. This one it's been mentioning here from several times in the slides. Because this is the thing that we want to have when we have CBTM, achieving higher level of employee satisfaction and engagement. Loyalty of the staff to the company, because they know that this company is very what we call that focused, structured, so on and so forth. They take care of the what we call that the career development of the staff, what we call it career development, professional development. They have their training. They know that one day I will be there at the top. Contoh, sebab dia dah tahu dah, sebab every year they buat assessment.
Keep the motivation.
Yes, keep the motivation. I want to be there. I want to go there. I want to achieve this. So within 5 years, they know that if they have a very structured planning, they know within how many years they will go up one level. Within 5 years, within 10 years, they will go to the top of the ladder. So kalau tak ada yang tu, susah. Company, orang akan resign, pergi company lain, pergi company lain. So,
Sebab dia tak clear kan. Tak
What
clear
is
dia next level kompetensi yang dia kena achieve.
yes. Okay. This is what competency, like we said, that the ability, ini kompetensi yang kita kena faham Sebab dalam the word CBTM tu, C tu stands for competency. Competency is all about the ability, keupayaan untuk melakukan sesuatu. Lepas tu skill, apa skill yang you ada? Your communication skill, your leadership skill, negotiation skill, your diplomacy. What are the skills that you ada? Writing skill, test lah. Macam mana test? Sebab tu buat exam. Writing exam. Right? Attitude, attribute, trait or behavior, character. Penting tau. Knowledge, skill, you can train, you can teach. But if you don't have the right attitude and character, sudah.
So this is the element yang kita kena.
That is competency. Yes, that is the competency that we have. Dalam competency definition of competency you must be able to state the knowledge, skill and attitude towards the job in order to achieve what. Itu kita akan nanti saya akan bagi contoh lah. Because this is just a session where we are sharing what CBTM is all about. Apa yang kita kena faham berkaitan dengan CBTM.
Nanti kita ada macam-macam
dia ada macam-macam level lagi. Macam mana nak develop competency. That one is another session lah. Because this one is the session that we want everybody to have the same knowledge about what CBTM is all about. Okay?
To give awareness.
Awareness that we are going to proceed because UIA already have its own competency, what we call that? Quiet competency. This one I will share with you later. Now, Sasmec, we know that we are going to utilize the university's higher competencies, but we are going to have another functional competencies dictionary to all our clinical staff. That one we are going to proceed with. HR is going to organize another round of workshop. That is, we are mainly focusing on the functional competencies. Okay, so these are another definition of what competencies versus competence is all about. When we look at the competencies, it's all about a person-related concepts that refer to the dimensions of behavior lying behind competent performer. Okay, competence is all about work-related concept that refers to areas of work at which the person is competent. Dia competent ke tak menjadi seorang doktor? Dia competent ke tak menjadi seorang pegawai takbir TPR? These are the competences lah. Competencies often refer to the combination of the two. Competency is one thing, competent tu is another thing lah. You ada set of competency yang sepatutnya, tetapi tak semestinya you competent. Tapi it's good. It is an excellent thing if you have the competency, you know that you have the list of competencies and you are competent in all of the competencies. That is what we are looking at for from the talent that we are recruiting, that we are hiring, that we are developing, that we are grooming, so on and so forth. Okay. So this is the thing that I said just now. Skills, knowledge, and attitude. For me personally, attitude and character is very, very important. That is number one. Attitude is very important. Because I always believe in adab. Lebih orang yang beradab semestinya dia berilmu. Tetapi orang yang berilmu tak semestinya dia beradab. So that is why I believe in attitude, character. You know that you want to be a doctor, contoh lah. You want to be anybody lah. You want to be an artist. You want to be an actor. You want to be a teacher. You don't have skill and knowledge. You can learn. You can groom. You can train yourself to be a teacher. Tapi kalau you tak ada flair untuk jadi teacher, you kena paksa jadi doktor pun, you kena paksa jadi teacher pun. Tapi you tak ada flair, you tak ada karakter, tak ada attitude. You buat sebab, dapat gaji dah. Tak kena kan? Dapat gaji sudah. You tak ada flair. You ajar anak-anak pun, you treat patient pun macam This is just example jangan tidak ada yang kecil hati whatsoever. This is just an example. You tak ada hati. Tapi kalau kata you have character, you have attitude, you bersungguh-sungguh untuk belajar, untuk gain knowledge, untuk improve your skill in order for you to be a good teacher. Contoh,
Kita akan bagi more than 100%.
yes, more than 100%. This is what components of competency yang perlu ada.
Yeah.
To be an administrative officer, PTD whatsoever, kan? You macam mana nak cakap, you bekerja sekadar bekerja je lah. Tapi tak ada hati. Macam mana? So these things, skills, knowledge and attitude. But for me personally, attitude character plays a very important role. Skills and knowledge betul. Tapi when we talk about competency, when we talk about the components of competency, tiga-tiga ni kena ada. Skills, knowledge and attitude character.
It's an interrelated component for competency.
Yes. Okay. This is another round of benefits of competency tu macam kita cakap tadi kan, ia akan translate the vision and goes into the behavior. How to play, how to win the game, and you at all time you play the game as if you play as a winner lah, macam bermain sebagai seorang champion. Sebab at the end tu you akan menang. Contoh, kan? Target is to win the cup. Target is to be the champion. And then you play, you act with the knowledge that you have, with the skill that you have, with the right attitude and character. You main bola macam you dah menang juara lah. You main sungguh-sungguh. This is what organization vision and mission into goes into the behavior employees are expected to display the organization to be successful. Translate the organization vision. Nak menang kan? Main macam play like a champion lah. Kan? Right?
Kalau dah ada target tu, so kita kena select kita punya team pun
yang
towards the target.
nak menang. Kan? Improve recruitment and selection decision. Looking at the skills, abilities and knowledge. We want to improve the recruitment process. So that tidak adalah yang main masuk pintu belakang. Ini anak kawan saya, masuklah. Ini anak saudara saya, masuk.
Competency first.
Competency first. Sebab kita punya ni organizational goals.
Yeah.
Our mission is organizational goals. It's not about personal gain.
Yeah.
It's not about personal interest. You bring in all your families into the company. Company is actually doing business. You bring all the people close to you, families into the company. They cannot perform. Company is based on profit. Business tak jalan. What will happen to the company? Collapse. Kan, some people they have big companies, even from families pun they recruitment process about that. Either you pass the test or not. If you don't pass the test, that's it. How you go? You cannot join the company because we are looking at what we call that a very perform talent.
Orang tua nak cari menantu pun dia ada selection.
Sama.
Betul.
Anak saya berkahwin dengan seorang lelaki yang tidak tinggal sembahyang, yang boleh jadi imam, kena test lagi. Jadi imam baca Quran, contoh. Dah lepas. Okay, boleh.
Jadi kita ada seorang daripada HR, Brother Kai, boleh
kan? Contoh lah. That is the benefit. Next, increase employee productivity, operational effectiveness, kan? Lepas tu, identify employee strength. Macam mana kita tahu dia ni whether he or she good in which area, which field? What? That's
profile. Kita akan profile.
Contoh lah, graphic designer. Kalau setakat buat grafik biasa-biasa pakai Canva semua tu, kita boleh buat. Tak payah hire graphic designer yang ni kan, you know, bayar tinggi tapi tak boleh buat apa. Dia punya output more or less the same like me. Dia contoh. This is all example. So, kan, macam mana? Kalau kita tak identify employee strength, kita tahu dia ambil dia tengok, design yang dia buat tu, ini standard.
Buat kotak
dia kira kan. Ini standard international punya standard lah. Yang tak tercapai di akal punya ni kan. Susah. Dia ni talent. So macam mana how to determine his or her level of competency dengan talent keterangan dia tu. Ini yang CBTM kan. Shorten the learning curve. You dah tahu dah. Whether you hire a person, you have to send him or her for training untuk 5 tahun atau 5 bulan atau whatsoever. Sedangkan kalau you buat CBTM ni, you dah set, then you have test people, oh yang kita ada ni tak perlu sampai 5 tahun pun, tak perlu sampai 5 bulan, 2 bulan, sebulan, seminggu, cukup lah. Sebab dia dah handle. Dia dah sampai level 4, tapi cuma kita nak bagi dia, we want to equip,
Fulfill the gap.
fill the gap to reach level 5.
Yeah.
Cukup lah.
Tak perlu nak start dengan level 2, 3,
If let's say, okay, CBTM ni satu lagi. Kalau kata you do CBTM, you are looking at a talent that can give you level 4, contoh. Tapi you buat assessment to 1 or 2 of your staff, boleh dapat, dia ni level 5. Dah above your target kan, achieve above your target kan, above expectation kan. Dah untung juga. This is what we call shorten the learning curve. Kan? You have a ready-made talent untuk level 5. Okay? So understanding of what is needed to be successful in the current and future roles, okay? People will see, okay, this is my career development. This is my career pathway. Where I can go. How long do I have to wait? Okay, if let's say that I'm already achieving level 5, okay, I'm already talent in the organization. I can be promoted and I can get bonuses. I can get anything that I want within at any time. So dah ada already talent. Okay. Giving employees sense of empowerment, control over their careers. You dah tahu, you can plan. Increasing level of job satisfaction and employee retention. So when employee, if let's say that they know that they are being appreciated, they know that they have a future in that particular company, so they will stay. They will be loyal to the company because they know that within 3, 4, 5 years, I will be the manager. Within 10 years, I will be the CEO. Contoh. Well, so these are another benefit. Support strategic HR planning. HR nak buat apa? Sometimes we do ask our HR department, what is your plan? Are you doing business as usual? Business as usual, biasalah attending staff to services, benefits, so on and so forth. What's next? Apa yang lagi best ni? What is your strategic HR planning? Kena ni, bila ada ni kita tahu. Yes, kena tahu lah. Bila ada ni kita tahu kita nak go beyond the norms. Contoh, banyak benda kita boleh buat kan. These are the things. Okay. Right, competency identification process. I would like to share what are the processes. Like just now we already touched on types of competency. I'm giving you example. We do have core competencies. Okay, core competencies where everyone, you must have the ability to manage a job and develop interaction with others. Maksudnya dia kompetensi itu kena. Contoh, core competencies itu mungkin what we call that communication skill. Mungkin leadership skill. That can be this one can be discussed and can be set in during the what we call it the workshop or so on. That is core competencies. For URA, we do have our higher competencies. Higher competencies Khalifah, competencies on Khalifah, competencies of on Iqra, competencies of Rahmatan lil Alamin, and also Amanah. Itu kena ada. Staff URA kena ada that set of competencies. Okay. Functional competencies, this one is the functional competencies based on our job. Our scheme, kalau kita, we have a scheme N, A, B, C, W, J, F, UF, UD, U. So these are the functional competencies. Versus functional competencies It's not the same as N competencies. So this is functional competencies lah. Okay. How to identify the competency identification process? First, we have to clarify organizational strategy and context. Okay. And then from that, once the competency has been identified, so we have to analyze the work role, process, gather data through behavioral event interview and focus group, and conduct benchmark study. We can get input from the subject expert method. We can go and do benchmarking at other government officers, ministry, and then from a private company. Okay, and then baru kita generate competency punya models. Yang tadi lah daripada core competency kan. Kita tengok balik kalau URA, last time we are looking at high. So from high tu kita kena come up with a proper competency punya model. Alright. And then baru kita validate, refine and implemented. Validate, refine by the certified group of panelists. Mungkin ada from the industry, from the industry, from the ministry. Then we have to test whether it is good or not to be implemented. Then we can implement it. Maybe we may implement it not to the general public, meaning that to the big group. We can test to only one group. Make it a pilot test. Contoh,
Right, maybe from the scheme representative.
yes. This is the competency identification process lah. Okay, now we look at the competency dictionary.
Yeah.
Okay, once we have identified all the competency that we want to focus on, contoh for URA they have this Khalifah. So they take they are developing a higher competency framework, maksudnya a higher competency dictionary. So I'm looking at the competency dictionary. When we look at it, the competency dictionary will be like this. Okay, first we identify the competency. Okay, contoh, the name of the competency can be, let's say that leadership. Okay, leadership. Contoh. The competency definition is about the definition of the competency, meaning that in general, what the competency is about and what it involves. This is when the green table tu, bila you dah identify competency, contoh. Okay, and then you have to define the competency. When we talk about leadership, what are the definition of that leadership? Contoh. Nanti kita akan tengok contoh lah. Contoh, okay. Saya ambil macam ni lah, competency dictionary. Let's say that this one is a competency for functional. Kita nak develop for functional. Competency Competency, let's say that we take it for one example, graphic design. Competency, graphic design. Okay, what is the definition of the competency? We have to make sure that in the competency definition, they must have skill, knowledge, and attitude towards the job to be completed according to which standard. Dan itu kena ada dalam competency definition.
Ada tiga benda.
Okay, so meaning that ability. Okay, let's say that we take the competency, for example, graphic design. Competency definition dia, contoh, able to plan, to design, and to execute the design according to the needs of the customer based on the policy in place. Contoh, itu competency definition untuk graphic designer. Saya bagi contoh je lah. Okay. Next is to look at the competency level. URA is using 5 levels
Starting from novice.
Novice and up to level 5 to expert. Level 1 is novice, and then I think intermediate. Level 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So at the bottom we have to define novice, and then maybe yang tengah tu mungkin intermediate tu. Lepas tu good, and then level 5 advanced and expert, contoh. So that is the competency level. We have identified the competency. We also already defined the competency. And then the level of competency. And the last one is going to be the behavioral indicator. This one provides behavioral description. Kalau expert tu, level 5 tu, he or she is the subject expert matter and a referral center to the organization. That is behavioral indicator. Okay. If let's say that behavioral indicator to at level 1, he or she is maybe macam he needs to understand the process of doing something. So level biasa-biasa lah, dia faham je lah. Mungkin level tengah, level 2 or 3 might be the process of planning. Mungkin level 4 the process of supervising, and level 5 mungkin the process, the behavioral indicator is all about as a referred center ataupun a subject expert matter.
So the statement shall come from the functional lah sendiri kan?
Functional sendiri, yes. Functional tu, how to get the functional punya what we call it, the functional competency. That is when we want to develop a functional competency, you have to bring your own job description.
Must reflected the job description.
It must be reflected, it must be extracted, the functional competency must be extracted from your job description. Itu kena ada. Masalah dia, bila mana you datang, you kata, saya tak ada job description, macam mana you buat kerja selama ni? That is another problem. Okay. So now we move to the example of competency dictionary. Okay, this is example number 1. As you can see, the competency is about problem solving. Okay, so what is the competency definition? Identifies and analyze problems, relevance and accuracy of information, generates and evaluate alternative solution, makes recommendation. That is the competency definition. And then for this one, they are using 5 levels. Level 1 is awareness, level 2 basic, level 3 intermediate, level 4 advanced, level 5 expert. And then below is the behavioral indicator, explaining each level stands for what. This is example number 1 of competency dictionary. Okay. So for example, apa relevan dia bila kita nak buat selection ataupun nak ensure that particular staff deserve to get promotion ke, deserve to get increment in salary ke, deserve to get what we call it, whatever lah, the best of from the company. When we identify, when we have this competition dictionary, let's say that, for example, contoh kita ada staff from grade 11, grade 11. Okay, tak payahlah ambil grade 11 ni. Kita ambil from grade 41. Okay, kita letaklah kat situ. Kalau level 1, 41. Level 2, 44. Level 3, 48. Level 4, 52. Level 5, 54. So you know that when it comes to problem solving, when you are at grade 54, you must be at level 5. If let's say that you are at level 48, you must be at level 3. Yeah. So this is the what we call that the guideline when you want to do assessment for your staff. So for each of these adalah grade-grade dia, grade 11, 12, 14, ni 29, 32, 36, 38, 40. You set the level. Okay. So when you do assessment, let's say that you interview 54, grade 54. You do assessment, dia pun attended the interview from the write-up that they sent to us. From the write-up they sent to us, blah, 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 and so on. You test. The panel, the professional panel, the certified panel itu rasa, dia tak capai pun level 5. Tapi dia 54 ni. Contoh. So, dia suppose dia punya from the assessment and from the interview tu, dia dekat level 3 je. So ada gap. So how to do that? How to orang kata apa? How to fill the gap? How to bridge the gap? So they need to send him or her for training in order for him or her to reach level 5. Within how many weeks, months? Contoh. There is an occasion where we interview Officer 41, but the result shows that he is already achieved level 5.
So reflect back yang Cik kata tadi, dia jadi ready talent lah.
Ready talent to be promoted anytime. For the one tadi 54 yang tadi patut level 5 tapi dia buat assessment level 3, tak boleh dah bagi apa-apa kat dia. So dia fill the gap dulu. Go for training dulu. Bagi dia capai level 5. Yang that 41 officer already achieve level 5 through the assessment that we are doing. He or she is a ready talent to be promoted anytime. Contoh. Itu yang CBTM is all about. This is what CBTM is all about. Now we move to example number 2. Example number 2 is all about influencing, competency, influencing, and negotiating. So persuade others, builds consensus through give and take, gains cooperation from others, and to obtain information and accomplish goals. So ada level dia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Template dia kena sama jadi.
Template dia it can be horizontal, it can be vertical. Because JPA, if I'm not mistaken, this JPA macam ni. Kalau kita pakai melintang sama je. Because that defines everything juga. Dia ada juga competency definition, level, and also behavior indicator. This is number 2. Example of number 2.
So pada kawan-kawan sana mungkin dah boleh ni lah cuba-cuba set kan what is the competency functional yang mana akan menjadi kita punya representative of skill. Maybe can start crack your head lah. Tapi nanti kita akan jumpa waktu workshop insyaAllah.
Workshop insyaAllah kita akan do it together. This is the example I want to share with everyone, the example of CBTM at our university, known as IUM High Competency. So they are looking at the 4 cluster here, Khalifah, Amanah, Iqra, and Rahmatan lil Alamin. They have a specific definition and the competency for each of the cluster. For example, Khalifah, they have competency in terms of influential communication, global acumen, strategic leadership, and also managing risk. So these are the cluster definition and competency. So looking at the competency dictionary of our university higher competency, for Khalifah, influential communication is like this. So you know that still we are using 5 levels: understanding, empathizing, informative, convincing, and influencing. So we have the competency, influential communication, the definition is there. We know the level and the description. We need that the behavior indicator explaining each level of the competency for Khalifah. For cluster Khalifah lah. So you can put lah, kalau level 1, 41. Kalau level 2, 44, 3, 48, 52, and 54. Okay. So these are the competency dictionaries of our university. Khalifah, Amanah, ethics, value, this is the competency on emotion, intelligence, Iqra, Rahmatan lil Alamin. Ini saya bagi contohnya. I'm just sharing example of our higher competency.
Higher competency ni university punya core jadi.
University punya core.
So supposed to be kita semua sebagai warga IUM perlu ada lah.
Yes.
Cuma level tu saja yang akan berlainan.
Level dia akan berlainan. Maybe my level is not going to be the same as Brother Syafiq punya level. Contoh, because our grade pun is not the same. But the thing is, These are the competencies, the core competencies that we as staff of IUM must have. Whether we are at level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, that one depending on the assessment that we have to go through. By the university, like let's say the university set. So all of our IUM staff need to do the profiling, then we will know whether we have reached the desired level of competency or not. Kan? Okay.
Portray lah UIA punya.
Kan? So portray lah the rahmatan lil alamin, developing by ke community engagement of our staff tu capai ke tak? Based on the level set for our grade. Okay. So once done with all the competency dictionary, all the CBTM, blah blah blah, and so on, everyone understand and everything. We have our own competency dictionary. How to do assessment? Macam mana kita nak buat test? I'm sharing you the competency based interview for selection. This is what need to be done next. Kita dah ada all the framework, blah blah blah, and so on. Macam mana kita nak buat? How to implement? How to do profiling, how to do assessment, how to evaluate our staff. So one of the methodologies is to do competency-based interview for selection. Okay, there is a writing process. You have to write our talent, our candidate, write on what we call that, the story, whatsoever achievement, the project that we have done according to the template given, and then once you are done, you are going to attend interview, competency-based interview, CBI. This is going to be interviewed by a panelist, a group of panelists. From there, with the competency dictionary in hand, they will evaluate all the talent, the candidate through the interview process. And from your write-up. Okay. So this is known as the competency-based interview. Disclosing example of behavior in the past, disclose specifically in detail, design based on the principle, past behavior, predict future behavior. Candidates are most likely to repeat this behavior as well. These are the things that we are going to look at. What to interview. Okay. So why the CBTI ni dia ada high level of validity and reliability lah, because scoring there is because CBTM is a standard scoring system. Dia ada dia punya orang kata apa, template of scorecard. Okay. This one is the next level lah. Once we have developed all the competency dictionary, this is the next level for us to assess and to do evaluation of our staff. Okay. This approach ni, when I talk about approach in CBI, the write-up that our candidate ataupun our staff need to do is through this STAR: situation, task, and action. Let's say that, for example, we give you one question. Okay, how do you manage? Explain to us the challenges in a project that you manage in Sasmec, contoh. So this is the template. You have to inform us of the situation, the star of the template. Inform us of the situation, macam mana you involve, and then what are the tasks that you need to do, and then what are the action that you take in order to fulfill the task, and then what are the results that you achieve. You kena buat write up. You kena tulis according to this template. So with this write up, you have to bring during the interview session, whereby the panel, they will receive what we call it, the star punya write up. We will study, and then during the interview, we are going to interview based on the write up, and at the same time there will be an additional questions about yourself, blah blah, and so on.
Saya difahamkan Cik Lee pernah menjadi interviewer jemputan untuk UUM.
Saya pernah, I've been invited as a panelist for interview, invited by Unimed. To be the panel, the panel for interview untuk KPYTM KYPTM punya staff in Penang. So these are the practice, something that that we need to do in order for us to do assessment. Dari situ we can know with all the what we call it, the not to say equipment lah, with all the tools and everything, we will able to know the level of the staff. So dari situ kan banyak, at least one candidate, one staff will take at least 1 hour in order to complete the interview, to have a valid result out from the interview, a very confirmed and what we call that, a firm punya decision about that particular candidate.
Kalau di organisasi lain pun dah start kan. So di Sasmec, it's never too late lah untuk kita start.
It is actually every public university, even the ministry, even ACAP pun, they just recently within these 2-3 years. It's not too late. We are still in the right track, in a good track for us to proceed with what we call that competency, what we call competency development in Sasmec. If let's say that we can achieve, if let's say that we can come up with what we call that a functional competency dictionary for clinical, then it's going to be, we are going to be at par with other hospital university, and maybe we can share resources with other hospital university, because like PPUM, I said, I know that PPUM, CBTM, they have their own functional competency dictionary, and also other public university as well. So it's actually, it can be a sharing platform to all of us within the KPT community, in order to share our resources and also to share our knowledge, experience, so on and so forth.
Improve our
to improve. To have several improved version of our competency dictionary.
Maybe nanti boleh share sama semua.
Yes.
Akan jadi par lah.
At least we have like a platform for us to have our knowledge sharing session with other HP and other public university. So this is the approach of CBI. Their task, then what I'm supposed to do. This one is just what we call that, and more explanation about what CBI is all about, STAR is all about. These are the sample of questions in CBI, right? That I want to share with everyone. So this is just a summary of what CBTM is all about. It's all about career planning. It is about training and development, and also performance management. Itu yang paling penting. Okay. This is my readings. This is my group of cohort lah. Okay. Our first what we call professional diploma in CBTM. This is my batch. We are the second batch. Second batch. Then this is the combination of the first batch and the second batch for CBTM, and also BESA CBI. From UMPSA and also UM.
This is recent, this year, is it?
This year.
BESA,
early this year, in February, if I'm not mistaken. And then I would like to acknowledge and thank you to my fellow friend from UPM, Cik Azizi, Cik Raja Shah Herman from UNIMED, from ACAP, UMPSA, UM, MSD, and all our graduates from CBTM and CBI, BESA, cohort 1 and 2. Because we are still keeping in touch. If let's say that they have project, they have programs, we will share knowledge, we will share notes. At the same time, if we have, been invited by other universities, and then we will go to assist and to help our fellow colleagues, our fellow friends who are doing CBTM in the industry, in other universities as well.
Sometimes it's good for sharing, because kita kadang-kadang tak ada idea untuk certain thing. Then we throw the question, ada idea punya.
Yes. Because every university, we believe that the uniqueness of each of the public university, we can share. Maybe we don't have that situation in our context, but when we know that, that things happen in the other side of the world, so we can take it as an example in order for us to be able to implement it ideally, or either we can make it as a lesson to our organization when we want to proceed with the development of our own CBTM, our functional competency. Yeah, inshallah. Okay, that's all about what CBTM is all about. To sum up, in summary, in conclusion, CBTM is all about tools that we are using in order for us to evaluate, to do assessment for our staff in terms of performance. In terms of performance, how how to determine the level of our competency of our staff in order to address the organizational goals, mission, vision, and at the same time to complement, to make it what we call that strategic and systematic process for recruitment, training, career development, succession planning, and also the end of service for our staff. CBTM is actually a process. It covers the whole process of talent management. Talent management. When we talk about talent management, this is what CBTM. CBTM is at the beginning, in the middle, and also at the end.
It's a core and shall be embedded to all processes of the
processes. Yes. Yeah. So that is what CBTM is all about. Is there any questions online? Maybe
we can stop the share first. Sambil kita menunggu soalan, kalau ada boleh ajukan di chat ataupun boleh buka mic. Mungkin saya tertarik sedikit jadi walaupun masa agak mencuburi kita, kita cuba berakhir pada 4.30 last kali. Apa yang Cik dikatakan tadi, CBTM is for all and CBTM is including all processes of talent management. Cabarannya Cik Amy, kalau kata kita nak start CBTM ni di semua proses, agak mencabar. So for your advice, dekat mana kita nak start first? Kita embedded and mungkin kompetensi, bila kita dah set kompetensi dictionary tu, kita embedkan dia punya proses tu dekat training and development dulu, ataupun dekat recruitment dulu, ataupun mana je?
Okay. Daripada from what I can conclude lah, from what I can see, when we have the competency, when we have set the competency dictionary, for example, IIM already have the higher competency dictionary. That can straight away be adopted to Sasmec, sebab kita under UIA kan. Dah boleh guna pakai dah untuk interview recruitment. Dah boleh pakai. Okay. So that one thing. If let's say we want to implement, we want to take the higher competency to be implemented here during the recruitment process, it can be done, no problem. Okay, another thing, now we are moving forward to develop functional competency for clinical staff in Sasmec. Okay, we have to identify, I think HR already identified the group of skill to attend the workshop, right, the 2 days workshop. So that is another round, whereby once it has already been established, being developed, okay, you can start at the beginning of the process, or you may start at the what we call that the middle, doing training and development. You can start. HR has to decide. Once you have established that the functional competency, because straight away you can use it at the what we call it at the beginning of the process, recruitment and selection. But if you want to hold that for a while, you want to start with training, also can, no problem. because you already have the what we call it, the functional competency dictionary. But the management of our human resource need to decide. Okay, where to start? Ataupun or you want to make it a pilot test first. Kan? To test first dekat mana? Mungkin dekat among the existing staff. Yang hal tu mungkin dah boleh masuk dah that particular element into during the interview, masa selection and interview. But for functional, maybe you want to start at the beginning, maksudnya at in the middle during for training and development. Maybe if you want to start with everyone, it will take some time juga, because we do have a very big group of our listeners. Contoh, test dulu, make it a pilot test dulu. To certain group, to certain scheme. Let's say that for nursing boleh ramai tau. Betul. 700, 800. Maybe you can start with a small group, a pilot test. You can test the higher, and also you can test the higher competency and also the functional competency of nurses. You must test somewhere in order to make sure the one developed is what we call that
suit for the organization.
Suit one thing, and yang orang kata apa, tested lah. Tested tu meaning that tested and proved. Proven. Proven. Okay. Then boleh go to the next group. Kena ada pilot test lah. You kena test kan what we call the effectiveness of the product, contoh. Tapi it's a what we call it, it's a hard work juga lah, sebab we have to interview everyone, contoh.
Everyone yang kat dalam kita punya boleh kita nak test.
Yes. If not, you test the sisters juga, sisters veteran yang mana 36 ke atas. Contoh. Tengok level high mereka, level functional competencies mereka.
Kita tak ramai sangat dalam 47 orang.
Yes. That is the first time. Kalau because in order for you to interview the 47, it will not take it will take some time, but not too much time. Sebab kalau you interview sampai 200-300, maybe my suggestion is for higher competency and also functional competency, we start with one small group of leaders from nurses, and then maybe another group among MOs ataupun among AMO, Assistant Medical Officer. But we only take the leaders and the leaders onwards, upwards lah. There must be pilot test dulu, jangan buat semua ni. Takut kita, our product is not proven. It's going to be a very reliable product. So why don't we do a pilot test? One group of head nurses and then another group of head AMOs. What will this be? So kita tengok
step
feedback. At least we start somewhere. We are starting somewhere. Now we are starting somewhere. We are going to proceed. So I think our management is going to be they will say okay, good, because we want to test our product. Reliable letak kita punya kompetisi sendiri ni. And then we have to remember, we have to train our panel of panelists to interview the assess and to interview the talent. Kan? Based on the one that we provide and everything, the scale and everything.
Okay, Brother Zili. Terima kasih atas jawapan yang saya rasa agak padat dan inilah kalau ikutkan dalam chat dan juga di ini ada soalan yang diberikan, mungkin semua tengah berfikir lagi. So saya harap through this platform ni akan membuka mata lah kepada semua yang kita nak kata Sasmec ni sangat-sangat mementingkan performance from today and today onwards lah. Jadi bukan nak suruh bersedia, kita memang kena sentiasa bersedia sentiasa bersedia. Walau dekat position mana pun kita, performance tu adalah satu benda yang sangat-sangat penting. Jadi seperti yang Brother Aziz cakap tadi, CBTM is for all, and also CBTM is comprises of all process in talent management. So hopefully kalau kata ada apa-apa kesempatan,
kalau ada apa-apa soalan ke, kalau ada nak invite saya untuk tolong in terms of sharing knowledge and to to share with you and to learn from each other, just inform me je lah.
Kok malu nak tanya kat kami kan?
Kok malu tanya kan, saya tanya soalan lagi tak ada jawapan pula kan. So I can be contacted, we can discuss. And then insyaAllah we are going to meet some of you during the 2 days workshop in order for us to work together and develop the functional competencies of our clinical staff here in Sasmec. Saya rasa hujung bulan ni kot workshop
28 dan
I will guide you with Madam Nur Kamsiah from MSD, guide you step by step on how to develop functional competency dictionary. Sampai semua orang faham. Dan kita akan try test lah. We will do the testing of our module and also our framework to our talent in Sasmec.
Hopefully kita punya inisiatif ni boleh boost kita punya performance of the Sasmec lah.
Yes. We want to have what we call a reform and then improve, strengthen our staff here in Sasmec, so that when we leave this Sasmec, we will leave the legacy, and then those who are our successor will continue to will continue lah the process for the sake of the organisation. We want to achieve the mission, vision, and the organizational goals. That is the most important thing.
So insyaAllah jadi
Alright,
kalau
thank you. Terima kasih.
Next time nanti kita akan ada bersiri-siri lagi untuk memahamkan dan to introduce kita to enforce lah, to enforce this competency based talent management di Sasmec IUM ni secara spesifik ya. So sekali lagi saya mewakili HR team ingin mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Brother Azili di atas kesudian untuk menyampaikan the knowledge berkaitan dengan CBTM ni. So dalam kita punya chat box pun ada kita sediakan feedback form dah. Harap-harap pada semua pendengar, pada semua Sasmec community untuk memberikan sedikit pandangan through the feedback dan juga memberikan sedikit rating kepada kami punya department, apa yang perlu diimprovekan dan what need to be included in the next session insyaAllah. So Brother Azili insyaAllah kita close the session dengan tasbih kafarah dan suratul as. InsyaAllah kita akan bersiaran lagi selepas ini di next session of Sasmec Sembang Smart, mungkin pada topik yang sama yang lebih spesifik ataupun pada topik yang lain lagi. InsyaAllah kita jumpa lagi.